Alright y'all, today we're gonna make some delicious shrimp stew, y'all, from scratch. I'm gonna show you exactly how it's done, so let's go. Alright, so to go over what we're gonna need, y'all, we're gonna need 3 sticks of these celery, y'all. I got 2 small yellow onions. If you got 1 large one, that would work. And I actually got like 2 smaller green bell peppers, but if you had, like I said, 1 large one, that would work as well. We got a pound of that double D smoked sausage. Of course, we got some rice. 2.5 pounds of fresh Louisiana shrimp. We're gonna need that for sure. Got my Cajun seasoning, some dry parsley, some garlic powder, and of course, some minced garlic. So we're gonna go ahead now, y'all, and let's get it started. First thing first, I'm gonna go ahead on and need to do, y'all, because what we're gonna do is we're gonna make a shrimp stock. Take the heads off, throw that in a bowl, and then go ahead and peel your whole shrimp till it's clean like that. We need to keep all the shells and all the heads in this bowl right here, okay? Because we're gonna need that. So let's go ahead on and get your 2.5 pounds all peeled up good. The 2.5 pounds of shrimp are peeled. We got the heads and we got the shells all in this little bowl right here. Let's go to the stove. I started boiling some water. It's 6 cups of water. Go ahead in there, y'all. Put your Cajun seasoning, 2-3 tablespoons. Put you some dry parsley. And then, of course, some garlic powder, okay? Put some of that up in there. What you want to do, go ahead on and mix that up, y'all. Like so. Because we're going to do now is take all these shrimp heads and shrimp shells right here, okay? So go ahead on and just throw it up in there. So what we're doing is we're making a shrimp stock from scratch, and this is how you do it. So now just go ahead on and let this simmer for 1 hour. Alright, so then you're going to take your shrimp, y'all. You're going to put them in some cold water. You can let them sit on if you're going to cook it right away as soon as the next step's ready to go. You go ahead and sit them on the, to the side. If not, put them in some cold water and put them in the refrigerator. But start with your shrimp stock like we did first because, like I said, that's going to take an hour. So now, let's just go ahead on and cut up all of our vegetables. Like I said, I'm going to do 3 stalks of celery is plenty. Want to cut them up rather small, y'all, because y'all know what we're doing because we're going to saute them down. We don't want big chunks in your shrimp stew. You know what I mean? So try not to cut them too big. Not too small either, but something like that. So now we're just going to go ahead on and cut up both our green bell peppers. Like I said, you don't want them too big, so keep that in mind when you're cutting them. Something like this, watch. Nothing crazy. Like that. Y'all let me know in the comments if y'all ever had shrimp stew before. I know a lot of people don't like to, well, it's not that they don't like to make it from scratch, they do, but I think it makes a lot of people nervous because, you gotta make your own roux, unless you want to buy a canned roux, but roux ain't as hard as people think it is. And then, like I said, we're making stock as well, so I think that scares people off. But let me tell you something. Once you make it one time, you get the hang of it, it ain't no big deal, really. And I'm going to show y'all again on today. In a few minutes, I'm going to show y'all how to make that roux. And on that part, y'all, what makes people nervous is that your roux, when you put your oil and your flour in, okay, at first it's more liquidy, and then as it gets to that process of cooking, y'all going to see it kind of gets clumpy, and you got to cook through the clumpiness, and then it turns back liquidy again. And I think a lot of people think that they messed it up when it turns clumpy, which ain't true. You just got to keep on going, because that's just part of the process. And remember, it's always low and slow. That's what I always tell everybody. You ain't got to rush when you're making a roux. Just take your time and make it happen. So go ahead on and dice up them 2 small onions. Like I said, now, if you got 1 large, really big yellow onion, just go with that. That'll be good. Same thing with that bell pepper. If you got a really large bell pepper, go ahead and go with that one, okay? Just make sure it's nice and chopped up. That's all. Beautiful. Beautiful, baby. Just cut your whole little pound of sausage up in little chunks. Like so, baby. Go ahead and cut up 2.5 pounds of potatoes, y'all. What you're going to do, as soon as you cube it up, go ahead on and throw in some cold water until we're ready to use them so they don't turn brown. Because you don't want to have no raggedy looking brown potatoes, okay? Go ahead on and cube it up. It's a raggedy potato, bro. What's happening now? So just go ahead on, y'all, and cube it up like I said. Hopefully, this recipe I'm giving y'all ain't like to feed 100 people. I'm not thinking. I'm trying to get this recipe to about 8 to 10 people. But we shall see in the end results. I don't know. We're going to find out together on that. But that's what my goal is. My goal is just like a little recipe for like, 8 to 10 people. Because, even though your family got 4 or 5, you can always put some in for tomorrow, freeze it, do whatever you want. But as soon as you cube them up, y'all go ahead and in that cold water with it. Because it don't take them long to turn brown. Alright, y'all, so at this point here, we got the vegetables all cut up. We got the sausage ready to go, shrimp ready to go, potatoes all cut up, cubed up in cold water. We got the shrimp stock on the stove. We got rice boiling behind that. Let's go make this roux. Okay, so this is a Magnolite pot. I'm going to put a link in the description, y'all, with the recipe and everything else. Because everybody always wants to know what it is and all that. This is by far my favorite pot to cook out of because it's easy to make a roux out of it. Also, when you're cooking all your other, anything you can think of. I'm going to have the link in the description for y'all if y'all want to get it on Amazon. Found them at a decent price. I mean, they probably about $100, $100 and something dollars, but, you take care of it, you should have it for the rest of your life and pass that something going down to somebody else. So, that being said, let's make this roux. Go ahead, 1 cup of vegetable oil. Go in there, y'all, 1 cup of all-purpose flour. Now, go ahead on and get everything all mixed up and combined together. And with this roux, what we're going to do is we're going to just keep on mixing it on up. We're going to get it well combined first here. And then we're just going to mix it till we get it to the dark brown consistency that we're looking for. Now, depending on what you're making, or what you want, or how you want it, that depends on how dark you want it, okay? So, like I said, don't get nervous when you're making your roux. Go low and slow. Take your time. May even take you 15, 20, 30 minutes if you do it too low and slow, but it's okay. It'll start to smell burnt a little bit, but it ain't. Just trust the process. Mixing it up, and let it get dark, Depending on, like I said, depending on what you're cooking is how dark you want your roux. Or what you like, I mean, it's up for debate. People will say, oh, that ain't dark enough, or it's too dark, but it's honestly whatever you like. So, for this recipe, I'm looking for a more dark roux. And for like that potato soup, I didn't want too dark of a roux. If you've seen that potato soup I made that time. So, let's just go ahead on, just mixing it like this, look. Okay? Just like that. And get ready to let your arm hurt a little bit, because like I said, this might take us 15, 20 minutes here. I'm going to show y'all what it looks like in 5 minutes. Okay, so the stock is ready. We're going to go ahead and sift that and put it to the side. It's ready to roll. Get ready to the shells and the heads and all that. We just want that liquid, okay? So this right here is about maybe 8 minutes after we've been cooking it. So just keep on going. We want it darker than that. Just keep on rolling. I'm going to show you what we want it to look like here in a minute. So that's the color roux I'm looking for tonight for my shrimp stew. By all means, if you want it darker, just keep on rolling a few more minutes. But I'm kind of liking that right there. I think that's nice. Dark enough for what I'm looking for. So let's go ahead and roll on and go to the next step. Go ahead and throw all the vegetables in there. We're going to cook them vegetables down for 5 minutes with the roux. So that right there is what you're looking for. Look at that, how beautiful. Boy, y'all can smell that. That's just your roux with all your vegetables. Like I said, go ahead and saute that down. 5 minutes, continuously mixing it up and stuff. And I'll show you what we do next. Okay, so it's been 5 minutes with the vegetables. Go in there with that sausage and brown it up. Very carefully pour that stock in. So now we're going in with those cubed potatoes. Remember I told y'all to put them in that cold water? Look how pretty they still are. See what I'm talking about? We'd have left them off just sitting on the table. They've been brown and raggedy, okay? Go ahead on. What I want you to do is mix this here up. On top of that, throw in you some garlic powder. Go in there with some Cajun seasoning. Some dried parsley. And of course some salt and pepper to taste. Now, so with your salt and pepper to taste, whatever you think, but go ahead on, mix it all together, get all the seasonings, All mixed up really good. And then let this here simmer for 20 minutes. Now y'all realize we ain't put the shrimp in yet because we don't want to overcook them. So for 20 minutes, go ahead on and let these cook up, because what's happening is everything's getting all intertwined, everything's just doing its thing, and the potatoes are getting soft at the same time. So go ahead on, put that top on for 20. On there with 2 teaspoons, y'all, of minced garlic. That gives it a lot of good flavor right there, and I sure almost forgot all about it. So, but you would normally do that when you pour the stock in there. That's when you go in there with them 2 teaspoons or so is good. But I'm glad I realized it. I only realized it because I had the jar on the table. Okay, so it's been about 20 minutes. The potatoes are fork tender. Go ahead and test it now. After you make sure the seasoning is all to your like, go ahead and put that 2.5 pounds of shrimp in there. And what we're gonna do is just give it a good mix around and let them cook for 2 minutes and shut it down. All right, y'all, go ahead and check this out. I mean, this is an absolutely delicious meal. And since you got sausage and you got potatoes and you got shrimp, you know what I mean? You got the rice, it'll feed a lot of people too. So that one pot made very well, after looking at it, probably do anywhere from 10 to 13 servings like this, I'd say. So it's gonna make a good bit. So even if you don't want that much, like I was telling you earlier, you can put it in a little butter container or whatever, freeze it up, whatever you want to do. But go ahead and check this out. I mean, it's delicious. All right, so y'all do me a favor. Hit that like button. Leave a comment what y'all want to see next. And subscribe to my channel. I appreciate y'all.